So I've been in business 4 years now, and I have noticed that the problem with taking a deposit from your clients is that then they expect you to actually show up and do the work. Smoking Captain Black Royal in my Missouri Meerschaum Kernel. Thank you, Canine Piper, for the tobacco. I'm gonna do a review on this tobacco. It's really good. I like it. I mean, for what it is, you know. And it is October. These are the mountains where I live, and I'm a photographer, so I am crazy busy right now. Multiple weddings each weekend, and it's awesome. It's really cool. Nothing I'm going to say in this video should be construed as complaining, because I am not complaining. I'm very, very happy to be doing what I'm doing right now. However, I would like to point out that this is my busiest time since having a kid. Insofar as we had a plan, my wife and I had the plan that when I left my job, my last job, I would be a photographer. I would just work for myself. In the first year was so awesome, and I made actually more money than I had ever made in a year in my life before. And I thought, okay, well, I figured it out, right? I'm there. And kid came along and didn't work out that way the next year. Now I've kind of reached a work-life balance. Now that this is his third year on the planet, and we are, is this third? Let's see, there was basically 20, yeah, third year. And yeah, this year is being more caffeine. This year is shaping up to be my best year since he was born, and I'm excited about that. However, you know, there are a few pitfalls with having a toddler and lots of really expensive, fragile, high-tech gear. And I'll get to that in a minute, but first I want to say this is why you're not seeing a lot of videos from me right now. I'm not doing a lot of adventuring. Also, Hurricane Nate came through and just ruined the weather and the fishing for a few days. And I hesitate to even admit it. I'm embarrassed to even admit it. But because it was raining and because I absolutely had to take a break from work, I decided I would make another Minecraft series, and or you know, a little mini season of Minecraft. And I thought the first season went very well. Anyway, so I started recording, and I got about 10 episodes in, and then I noticed this little error code in my screen recorder, and I hadn't been recording anything for like 6 episodes. So you would be seeing Minecraft videos right now, but you're not. So that's where I have been, and I wanted to put something out because the last video on my channel was about Las Vegas, and that's really depressing, and I don't feel that. I mean, obviously, when I think about Las Vegas, I feel depressed, but other than that, I feel okay because I'm really busy and really excited and having fun. While we're on the subject, I think it's pretty interesting that we're now seeing diverging timelines coming out from the Las Vegas law enforcement authorities and the hotel. And now there's some confusion there. This is an interesting situation, and I don't have any answers, and so I'm not going to talk about it. But I did appreciate all your comments on the Las Vegas video, and it's just a terrible thing. You know, it's a terrible thing, and things like that are going to get worse before they get better. So on to real problems. On to my heartbreak. You know, I take good care of my gear, but I use my gear really hard. And when I'm in a slammed time like this, there's some attrition that goes on. I blew 2 strobes in the first week of October. So what? What is this? The 12th, and I've shot 4 weddings in October so far. Yeah, I blew 2 strobes. One just blew, and the other I was like running to get ahead of a bride and shoot back as she was walking, and strobe fell out of my pocket, landed on the sidewalk, broke into a million pieces. Luckily, I'm going to get a little technical here. It was a Nikon SB600, and I have been trying to break that strobe for like 5 years. I hate that strobe, and you can't justify buying something new just because you don't really like the thing that you got. So now it's broken. I'm afraid that it could be fixed. So I actually have an extra flash bulb. That would be an interesting video. That would be an interesting video of me trying to fix a Nikon SB600 speedlight, because if you screw up and you discharge the strobe onto yourself, it's basically a taser. Speaking of gear attrition, I had a dream last night that someone drove a truck over my Dagner corncob pipe, and I was all upset. It was very sad. Anyway, so I blew a strobe one weekend. Boom, got online, Amazon primed up another, blew a strobe the next weekend, and now I'm shooting. I have 4 weddings in a row. I've done 2 of them so far in this one venue that has this beautiful, great hall, but it is like the darkest room in town. So you gotta have strobes in this room, and I have a special way that I light it. Never seen anybody else. I'm not gonna say that. You gotta know what you're doing to light this room, and you gotta have some strobes. So blew the strobe there. Amazon primed up a second new strobe, and it came yesterday. And by the way, what is up with okay, yeah, so Amazon Prime is guaranteed 2-day shipping, right? Except I don't really think the 2 days are guaranteed to be like consecutive. Like, I ordered on Sunday, and I think my 2 days were Monday and Wednesday, because it did not show up on Tuesday. Something else that I ordered from farther away in the world did show up. Anyway, first world problems. So the strobe comes, and I got my kid, and he wants to play with any packaging materials. He's all over that, so he's playing with that. And then the first thing he does, before I had taken the strobe out of the box, it's still in the box, he just grabs it and chucks it across the room. So that's item 1 on my to-do list today, is to find out if that strobe still works, because otherwise I'm just going to send it back to Amazon and say it was shipping damage. I'm being truthful. It had not left the box when it was damaged, right? See? Speaking of, this is a little bit off topic, but speaking of gear attrition, equipment depreciation, the tire sensor system in my car went out, right? This is just a weird, if there's any like engineers out there, I want to know what you think about this. Right. Tire sensor pressure indicator system monitor thing goes out. TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system, goes out. So now I got this annoying light on my dash. I got 107,000 miles on the car. I'm not really worried about it. But I want to monitor my tire pressure, especially because I got some tires, not really, their fortitude is questionable. So I bought a little $10 digital tire gauge on Amazon, and I just check my tire pressure every time I gas up, right? And first time I checked it, everything was low. So I filled it all up, right? All to the same point, and I got my little digital gauge so I can be super precise about it. This is really, sort of exciting my meticulous OCD-ness. And that was 3 weeks ago. And 3 tires have lost about 1.5, 2 pounds of pressure. The other tire has gained 3 pounds of pressure. What the hell is up with that tire? So that's the big news from my life. New strobes, new tire gauge. Not much adventuring because I'm working really hard. And I do actually have some free time coming up. And I might go fishing. And I have gone fishing a couple of times this month, and it honestly, there's no time for making videos. I just need to fish. I just need to let my brain rest for a minute. I'm gonna end this here. We're almost at 10 minutes. I guess if I make it at 10 minutes, I can someday in the future monetize this video, right? So we'll just wait. 9:40. 9:43. Okay, I can't do it. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.